the kind of golden age of watching cycling in the UK is very much dead. Like we talk about, British cycling, domestic road cycling is, all the teams are going, is it dead? Are we, whatever. Watching it, at least World Tour racing, is definitely dead.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I don't know, a year ago we had GCN Plus, which was like £7 a month. You could buy it for £20 a year. It was incredible. You could watch literally any race you could think of that was at a decent level, with live commentary, shows with like breakaway shows afterwards. It was amazing. The general consensus was like, this is a little bit too good to be true. They should probably raise the prices. Eventually it kind of went the other way, and Warner Brothers, I think, is the complete parent. There's lots of different parent companies here.
Yeah.
But Warner Brothers decided that GCN Racing was no longer, and just poof, vanished suddenly one day, which was devastating. And everything kind of moved to Eurosport Plus or Discovery Plus or something. It's all kind of under the same thing, but it was basically £7 a month again, and you got the similar sort of racing coverage, a little bit limited because it was included with all the other sports. That it was a little bit more difficult to navigate. So that's what we've been using this year, and now we suddenly got the news that in 1 month's time, it's going to be moved again and shifted into another group of companies called TNT Sport, and it's going to be £31 a month to watch the same cycling coverage that we were watching this year. £31 a month. I don't know about you, Owen. I'm not paying £31 a month to watch La Samin.
No. That is
First of all,
impossible.
Okay, I mean, why have they done this? I think I know why they've done this.
Money?
So, I mean, first of all, they want to make money.
Yeah.
Obviously, they want to just increase the prices so we pay more. That's, not rocket science. But I think they just don't care about cycling. I just don't think they realise.
Bingo. Yeah.
They're just like, okay, what if we lose 80% of our cycling viewership? Whatever, the other 20% will go and pay the £20, the £30 a month, and they can watch the other sports as well.
Yeah.
I think it's just I think it's an intention. I don't think it's unintentional. I think it's an intentional. They just don't matter. There's just not enough of them.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
Kind of matter.
Because
But what I'll pass it over to you.
Yeah.
What impact is that going to have on cycling in the UK?
I think it's going to kill it. I hope it doesn't, but I think this is the death knell. The canary in the coal mine was GCN originally being sold to Eurosport, Discovery, Warner Brothers. And this is the moment where, where maybe it ends. Because you've gone from having this combined with ITV4 losing the rights for free-to-air means that the biggest event of the entire cycling calendar is now not just not free to view, it's £31 a month. And that, maybe there is a business model where they think all we want is people to pay £30 once in a year for the Tour de France. There's maybe there's no value in anything except the Tour, and they just go, we just want people to pay £30 once. And they can't really make it a pay-per-view in the same way that you would with Mike Tyson versus Logan Paul. So they say, well, it's just going to be £30 for that month, isn't it? And that's their model. But I don't doubt it will make sense for their baseline figures. I do not doubt that. These are smart people. They know what they're doing, I hope. And I'm sure they've run the numbers and they say this will either make us more profit, it will make no difference to our profit, or maybe, as you said, we simply don't care and we want to shift everything to TNT Sports because there's value in us doing that. But that means that an entire sport could just be a sort of unintended casualty of a entertainment giant just rejigging its stuff, which blows my mind. And that just shows how cycling as an entire sport needs to get its act together, because otherwise you're at the whims of just one entertainment giant. Seems crazy to me.
Yeah, it's just part of this whole kind of global shift of moving, 10, 15 years ago, streaming services were beginning and it was like, this is insane. Netflix is £2, whatever, a month. And suddenly I've got every single movie that's ever existed. This is incredible. And it's obviously everyone's seen the shift over the last decade or so that it's like, there's like 20 different streaming services. They all cost £10-20 a month, and now it's the same price as a Sky TV package was before. We've just gone back to where we were.
It's cable again.
Before.
That's what it is. We've gone like streaming disrupts cable. Streaming companies get so big that they buy all the other streaming companies and recreate cable.
Well, it's not even the streaming companies; it's the cable companies.
The cable companies
just
have come back.
Bought the streaming companies, yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously, the impact on UK cycling is that less people are going to watch it. Less people watching cycling means less people cycling themselves, which means less people racing, and all the other snowball effects of that.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is awful, terrible. If you want to watch cycling, go and pirate it, or go to Monument Cycling.
We don't have the Tour de France, though. We don't have the Tour de France.
No.
And that's Harry's viewpoint on the pirating, not Monument Cycling's. But I think that is what's going to happen. I remember there's a Twitch streamer called Pirate Software, who you may have seen if you're perennially online like me.
I've not. No.
And he runs his small game development company. And there's a great little bit where he talks about piracy of his games in Brazil. He was really struggling from piracy until he looked at the purchasing parity in Brazil versus other parts of the country, the other parts of the world. And basically, his game was too expensive for people to buy in Brazil, but they wanted to buy the game and wanted to pay for it. So when he adjusted the price on a local basis so that people in Brazil could afford it in the same way that you and I could afford it, they started turning Brazil into one of their biggest markets of people who wanted to pay to buy the game. And that's what you see.
It's a very simple. Anyone that's annoyed, if you're Warner Brothers and you're annoyed that everyone's pirating your thing and not paying your £30 a month, it's an incredibly easy thing to fix. You can completely eradicate pirating by just making a product that's worth the price and selling it. I'm sure when GCN Racing was about, the amount of pirating of cycling races was probably almost zero.
Yeah, because of the worst case,
it's worth it. Everyone can afford it. It's worth it. It's easier than pirating.
Yeah,
that's it. Obviously, that's tongue in cheek. Please don't. I don't know. You can pirate something if you want. Just be careful. don't get caught. I guess. I don't know. What else should I? Don't get a virus on your computer.
Yeah, watch out.
that is what's going to happen. The people that really want to watch races, that can't afford £30 a month, which is basically everyone. There aren't many people that can afford to pay £30 a month to watch bike races, or are willing to. Are just going to pirate it, and then suddenly they don't get any money.
Yeah.
The very easy solution to this is to just split it in the same way that you can just pay for, I don't know, Sky Sports F1 because you only watch F1 and it's cheaper than the whole Sky Sports package. It's just to have TNT cycling.
Yep.
And it'd be it's on the same platform, you just have access to the cycling and it's £10 a month.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all they have to do. And nobody really talks about it.
Yeah, nobody cares. That would be it. It seems like such a simple idea, and that's why I wonder that there must be some brilliant monetary reason behind the scenes for it. And I'm sure their stock price is going to reflect that, and David Zaslav, the owner of WBD, is going to be like, oh yeah, I'll get another yacht. I'm sure that's probably going to happen. And if it does, great, good for them. But we're going to be the sort of friendly fire or the unintended casualty that gets hit in the meantime.
Exactly. Oh well, watch tv.monumentcycling.com
Yeah.
for your British cycling coverage.